Lollapalooza has always been and continues to be the biggest music festival in Chicago, you know, especially during the summer. Well, obviously, that's when, the festival takes place, is during summer. And but I think it was the early 90s in which it was like the place to go to see the biggest names of alternative rock, during that era. You know, such bands like, Smashing Pumpkins, Ministry, Jesus and Mary Chain, Rollins Band, Corner Shop, Veruca Salt, Front 242, Breeders. I could name a laundry list of who was there during that time. Oh, Butthole Surfers. I didn't mention that. Like I said, I could probably name a total laundry list of a ton of bands that appeared during Lollapalooza in the early '90s, but I could just ramble on because I'm that much of a music fan. I could talk to you about music all day, but during the early 2000s was when a mix between fairly mainstream artists of that time and a bunch of DIY bands, trying to you know get more attention. You know, that's when a lot of that's when that trend started with Lollapalooza. But they still had a bunch of bands from the '90s coming um, to perform with them, during those days, and and they continue to do that. I mean nowadays Lollapalooza has become mostly a corporate festival, but they still got a ton of good artists during nowadays. But during 2006 was when quite a few of my favorite bands performed. There was Eels, Iron and Wine, Death Cab for Cutie, fucking uh, 30 Seconds to Mars, the New Pornographers, and like I said, there's a bunch of bands that I can't really think of at the top of my head, but they are you know, definitely a lot of good shit, during that time. Flaming Lips was there. Yeah, so Thievery Corporation. Oh man, I it's gonna drive me crazy, trying to think of who else was there, but I'm sure you could always look up online to see the whole list of which band performed during which year. You know, I mean, obviously Wikipedia does that, but if you want to get the more legitimate list of who was there, I would say just type in Lollapalooza lineup and type in the year that you're interested in looking up. And one band that during 2006 that appeared during on Sunday, which was the last day of Lollapalooza 2006, was this band. This band actually is one of the bands that were very barely not heard of during that time. This is a band called Catfish Haven. They're a combination of indie, soul, and pop rock a little bit. And this is actually one of the only albums that they've released. They really have not gotten off the ground. This is actually an EP, but it has 10 songs. So this is this is their album Tell Me, which was released on in it doesn't say what year they released this album, but it's released through this independent record company called Secretly Canadian, which I guess I mean it's a pretty unique name, but anyway, so I read online that they're a cross between. Well, a reviewer said that they're a cross between Nirvana and Creedence Clearwater Revival, which is kind of a very weird combination considering that Nirvana is grunge and CCR is southern rock. But then again, I mentioned Brother Kane in an earlier episode, and they're like a combination of rock and of grunge and southern rock, and and so but they're more hard rock, and this is more like a little bit of popish, and I can understand the CCR aspect of the band because they got a similar sound, but not much Nirvana because the vocalist, when Kurt Cobain was still alive, he a lot of people complained that he was very inaudible, when he was like performing, especially during like Smells Like Teen Spirit, you know, during like the chorus section of that song. And like, but anyway, so Catfish Haven appeared, on the last day of Lollapalooza 2006, along with bands like, Broken Social Scene, Andrew Bird, there was Patti Smith, Office, and Blues Traveler was there too. Hot Chip was there. I didn't go to the show because, but I do know like a lot of those bands appeared during that year. Because I just looked them up. I did a lot of research about it. So I pretty much I love this band. I found this in the clearance section of Half Price Books last summer, and like I think I've heard of this band. Like not necessarily the title. Well, I may have like heard of another band that has the word catfish in it, but like I did look this up before buying the album, and a combination between indie and soul is not bad. I mean, pretty eclectic, but I would say, but like I said, this band has like really fallen off the face of the earth. They are massively obscure. They've only released like two other albums. And like I said, I guess this is an EP from what I read, But I mean that's even better because like that kind of like makes it seem as if like they're still in DIY form, and I like a lot of DIY stuff, and I'm trying to get into a lot more, So yeah, Catfish Haven appeared in Lollapalooza. They're like one of the bands that that appeared during that year that like I said have not like totally gotten off the ground, unlike the majority of the other bands that appeared during that year, and like and a lot of them during the early 2000s or mid 2000s. I mean, although they are considered indie rock, they are very much well known by especially those who are like loyal indie rock fans. But anyway, so I should be like on the lookout for the other two albums. I mean, if I can't find them, then that's fine. But I would definitely give this band a go. I enjoyed this album. If you're into like like those jam bands that are kind of similar to this. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're like that totally similar to Fish, but I mean, they are kind of like the same, because they got like a very jam type sound, you know. But anyway, so if you could find this CD anywhere, I would pick this one up and just give it a listen. Or if you just want to stream it, or if you want to look for the CD but can't find it anywhere in any store, look them up on Discogs and see if you can order one. But if you just prefer to stream your music, then just look this band up and just give it a listen and see what you think. So, Catfish Haven, their album Tell Me, released through Secretly Canadian Records. Thanks for watching.